Alright, I did this yesterday in a video. It was experimental, and it came out kind of weird and wonky, although a lot of people liked it. It's very weird. Anyway, the crazy thing about this is it comes from the Facebook group, Matt's Crazy Art, which all of you should join. Matt's Crazy Art Facebook group. You have to put group in it, otherwise you'll get the business page, which you can also join or like. But if you put group in the search, you should get a photo of a guitar, a painting of a guitar, and that's the group, and you join, then you can post all your stuff. And that's awesome, because this particular pendant came out of this group. Somebody posted a simple teardrop set of earrings that looked like this, with a stone hanging, kind of swung, right? And then the earring, it's a cool earring hook, isn't it? Anyway, that was just wire, and that was wire, and that was a stone. And I said, that's cool, I want to try to make that without practicing it. So I did it on camera, and my loops came out really wonky like this, and the stone wouldn't stay in place. So I added another one to make it even weirder, and people seemed to like it. Well, people went back to the page and posted all kinds of versions of it that were even more interesting and fancy and fun. So I'm gonna do some of those that people posted. I'm gonna do my version of them. But here's my first attempt at how I'm gonna do this differently now that I tried it once. So here's attempt number 2, and most of this I had already planned, but I might have gotten a little influence from some of the newer ones that people are posting, which are, some of them are just beautiful. Anyway, actually, they're all beautiful. So here's the new idea, is to take 20 gauge and twist it like crazy. First just give it a loop in the middle of the wire, and then take the 2 strands and then just twist them like crazy. Twist, 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 so you get this long strand, and then bend this long twisted strand, 2 strands, into your teardrop, right? And then take the 2 strands and scarf them. Now, alternatively, you could take the 2 strands and make 2 coils and stick the coils anywhere across the top you want. That's your choice. I'm not even sure which one I'm going to do. I think I'm going to scarf it, try to keep it simple. And now the second part is to take 22 gauge, although you could play around with 22 to 24, even 26 you could get away with, whatever gauge you're more comfortable with. But take a long piece of it, and just kind of start at the top, and start threading that in and throwing beads randomly. Now, to keep the beads from just sliding all the way down to the bottom, kind of twist them around the wire, like that, and then come do your next, twist them around, and like that. And you can even come back up like this, twist. You can make like a web effect. You could put more than 1 bead across per strand. I mean, you could do anything you want with this. So you could have a lot of fun. You could make yourself a super big teardrop frame, so you can have a lot of beads going through there like this, right? Or you could do a really tiny one and just have 1 bead or 2, however you want to do it. So let's see if it works. Because if this doesn't work, then we'll just have to keep trying, because that's what we do. How much should I take? Probably more than I think, right? Because I never take enough. What is this? I'm going to say 2 feet. I'm going to say 2 feet. Let's do that. And in the very middle of the wire, I'm making my loop. This is my top loop. Okay, it's a good size. All right, I like it. Commence twisting. Now, twisting is interesting. If you want to get it even, you want to try to keep this and this at a right angle, like a square. See how that's like a square? Like a square? I mean, it curves off, but at the very apex, it's kind of like a very nice right angle. I would say it's a cute right angle, but that would be incorrect, because that would be acute. Anyway, silly geometry humor. Anyway, so let's keep twisting it. So you want to try to keep it even as you're twisting it. You can twist this, or you can twist that. It's easier for me to twist this, because when I twist this, it reaches out and grabs the camera, and then I have more issues. So there's actually a hip-hop song from the 90s that says, you can get with this or you could get with that. And I'm saying you could twist with like this, or you could twist like that. But you should twist like this, because this is where it's at. Because I'm just like so cultured. Anyway, so as I'm going, you'll see my twisting is not perfect. Look at that. See, it's perfect, then it gets messed up where I start to try to explain to you. See how I sacrifice my beautiful art just to give you explanations, and then it goes back to being perfect again. So the moral of the story is, while you're twisting, don't try to explain to anyone what you're doing, because it'll get messed up at that point. Just keep twisting and don't speak. Don't speak for like, I don't know, a few minutes. That's what No Doubt would say. Just don't speak. Anyway, so how do you know when you have enough to make your teardrop? The answer is, I don't know. You figure it out. You eyeball it. What is enough to you? How big do you want it? You're going to have to answer those questions for yourself. And, you know, once you answer those questions, I think pretty much everything else in your life will be easy. So this is starting to get hard on my fingers as I'm coming around, but I want to do a really big one so I can get a lot of stuff going on in there. So I'm going to go a little longer, a little further with this, see how my twisting is going. It's not bad. It's there's some, you know, it gets interesting and weird and good and whatever. What you're going to find when you go to turn it into the teardrop shape is they'll be weak unless you get it perfect like a machine, which is possible. You might be a machine. You might be a Terminator watching this, in which case I'm not on Sarah Connor's side. But you'll find as you turn it around, like the weak points will turn into sharper corners, and it won't look as round. And we'll work on that, because that's really not a big deal. There's easy ways to get around that. And oh man, this is getting to be. There we go. I believe in myself. I believe that I can do all the twisting I must do. I believe that I can get this thing done. All right, so through that twisting, I think I twisted my loop a little tighter than I wanted to. I wonder if I can untwist that and make it a little bigger. I kind of can't. I'm having trouble. Oh, I need to grip it on that. There we go. Oh yeah. Well, that's a little too much, but I kind of want that much. That's a little wonky now. Don't untwist it like I did. See what happened? Got a little wonky there. That's totally fine though. We can round this back out with our pliers that were meant just for this. And then I am going to retwist it just one time too, because I don't quite need it that big. Man, gotta hold it with another pair. It's really hard to hold this still. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Look at that little loop. That's just gorgeous. Okay, let's commence our teardrop shape. All right. Here we go. So leave it a little bit long right there and then start the bend. Gently as you come around. And whoa, we have a ton here. This is going to be a ton. This is going to be a huge teardrop. I'm bringing these together. There we go. There is our teardrop. Look at that. That's humongous. But I love it. I love it. And we just keep messing with it. So you got a little sharp corner there. That's okay. You can take the pliers and you can gently flatten out. See how it starts to round, the whole thing rounds it out when you flatten the corner. Or you can just take your fingers, depending on how pliable it is, and just mess with it manually. Manually means by hand, because in Latin, I think man and hand have something, I don't know. Don't listen to me. All right. I'm happy with that. Make it a little bit, teardrop has a little bit of a straight, the two ends are kind of straight at the top, and then they start to round. There we go. All right, let's commence scarfing. Let's bring this guy around and around. All right, that's pretty beautiful. So we could just really cut it off there, or should I do my little curly cues? I'm just going to cut it off there. You guys do some curly cues. You do the cool, pretty version. Ooh, we can go around one more time. Haha. Now be careful. If you think you keep going around, sometimes it starts pushing that down, and you'll just keep doing it forever until you shrink your teardrop. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to cut these ends like halfway across and tuck them in. Boy, it's fun hanging out with you guys. I haven't hung out with you guys in like 24 hours, and I've been missing you. How have you been? How was your evening? What did you have for dinner? Did you choose wisely? Or did you say to yourself, oh, this is one of those dinners I'll learn next time how to do it differently? So we got this much done so far. Now I'm just, again, going to make sure I get this shape just the way I want it, because once it's done, it's done. Okay. If you want, you can actually draw a teardrop on a piece of paper and try to line it up to make sure it's really how you want. There's many ways to do stuff. All right. Yep, see that? Now, unfortunately, I only have a tiny amount of this 22 gauge, so I hope it's going to be enough, because basically I didn't want to go to this store and make you guys wait an extra hour for this video to come out. So my sacrifice, hopefully you'll understand. Let's get some 6mm beads. I'm going to stick with amethyst because they're so pretty, and sometimes it's better to keep your piece simple, although I love making pieces crazy and extraordinary on occasion. Let's see. How shall we do this? Normally I'd go from the middle, but I have very limited wire here, and I think I'm just gonna start right at the end. Wrap this a couple times. Okay, that's it. That's it, and we're off to the races. This is going to be a little tiny curly cue. Again, if you have more wire to play with, you know, give yourself a nice, cute, big curly cue. But I'm just going to tuck that guy right in. Just push him up against there. Okay. And here we go. So, take an amethyst, or take a bead, and place it. Where do you want it? I want mine right about there. So, as I have it right here, I'm twisting it. Now you could just twist it once and twist it twice like that, and it'll stay. Or, if you have a lot of wire to play with, which I don't, but I'm going to show you anyway, you can twist it all the way around. And I think that kind of makes a smoother look, and it holds it better. So now we could put more amethyst, and or we can give it a wrap right here. And this is important because what I learned from the last video is I had my link sliding all over the place. This twist right here is not just to look pretty, it's to hold your wraps. They'll get stuck in a crevice there, and so they'll be held in place, as opposed to what happened last time, where the beads were sliding all over the place, which is fine if that you don't care, but this is what I think is going to be cool. So got one there, put one right here. We'll start it out right here, and then we'll kind of roll it closer to the end there, okay? And you can roll it as many times as you want. You can wrap the bead up in it if that looks kind of pretty sometimes. So that wrapping got stuck around there like that, but that's fine. I'm just going to go with it. And I'm going to put a second one on here. Two on one branch, so to speak. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room here. I'm going to pull it out this far so I can roll it back in. Kind of, it's fun because you want to judge where to put it, but then if you mess it up a little, you can always pull it back and redo it, because you're very flexible with this 22 gauge. And you can just wrap it once around, or you can come all the way around twice, and that'll hold it a little better. I didn't think I had enough wire, but I think I am going to have enough, so I'm going to come around twice like that. So these little guys are just suspended. Technically, this could work with 20 gauge too. 20 gauge might be a little stronger because these are going to be a tiny bit flimsy, which makes them subject to, getting beat up while they're on someone's chest. Generally, if you're wearing necklaces and you're a hugger, your necklace might have to be a little tougher to stand up to all those hugs. But there ain't nothing wrong with that, I tell you, because hugs are just what life is about, right? I mean, sometimes I just wear a necklace just so people will hug me. It's like, I have a necklace on, hug me. I think that works. I think the logic in that. What do you think? And here's a fun thing. I'm coming all the way back up. Now, I pulled out about 8 beads, or 9 or something, but I think 5 is filling up this space. If I did smaller beads like, what's it called? Like 4 millimeter, then I could probably fit more. But this is really this is fun. It's like science mixed with art, because you got to measure like how they're gonna come out, kind of eyeball it, but then you're also experimenting, and just whatever's happening is happening. This is not what I expected. This is way different and way more fun, honestly. So I didn't expect this, but I think I'm gonna anchor this right around those guys, and let's see if I can pull it off, because it could come out awesome, or it could be a little bit of a mess. All right, it's coming around pretty okay so far. Yep, so yeah, you got to hold everything in place because stuff starts trying to move around, right? All right, that's good so far. It looks good so far. Can we get this? My voice sounds a little scratchy today. I kind of woke up with a little bit of scratchiness, and I think it's going to go away. I don't feel any other symptoms. I don't feel fatigue or anything. It's just a little bit of scratchiness. All right, let's pull that. So you got to be careful when you pull it tight, because you don't want to pull anything else out of place, because this 22 gauge is very, very gentle and soft. It's not made to be weight bearing, so to speak, the way the frame is. Okay, I think I got it. I think I have every piece pretty much where I want it. If there's any deviation, I can adjust it from here. I'm gonna pull it right through here. Do one last anchor right there. Pull it tight, and that's moving a little more than I like, so I'm gonna pull it a little tighter. And I'm gonna wrap it a couple times around here. I haven't paused this yet. I'm just going with it. So if this video is kind of long, I hope you guys are just chilling, sipping your cappuccino, enjoying your evening. So now I could do another curlicue to end it, or I could wrap all the way back up and scarf it again, whatever you want to do. You can always hide more wires in the bowl that the scarf makes. It's like this depository for hiding stuff. So it's really cool. And usually if you shove stuff in there, it's safe. It's not going to come out. And if you get a little bit worried that you shoved too many wires in there and it might come out, you can put a teeny tiny dab of like glue in there, or E6000 or something, and that'll ensure they won't come out. But I'm going to roll this into a slightly bigger curlicue. And man, this video has been going long. You guys are troopers, just hanging out here, listening to my scratchy voice. All right, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Are you loving it? So here's another easy way to do it. I'm going to do version 3, because this one woman put on a beautiful swirly pattern with all kinds of craziness, and it was like so beautiful, it made me very upset because it wasn't done by me. So I'm going to do a version 3. You better believe it. But this is version 2. And I think this opens up a lot of fun you can have. You don't have to do a teardrop. You could do a big diamond shape. You could do several shapes and just, thread your beads around. Look at these. They're like little wandering, fun, cute little guys. They're just doing their own thing. And you could wrap them tighter too. You could take some more wire and put more of a matrix around them to hold them even more in place. But I'm just going to leave this open, and it's breathable. You can breathe through. You can put it up to your mouth and just breathe the fresh air through the amethyst. If I knew some kind of magical stuff I could tell you, I'd say if you breathe through the amethyst, it will do something to your energy or something like that. Anyway, We'll see you guys.